A very warm welcome, everyone. So, we have started this internship discussion series, and this internship discussion series is organized in order to ensure that all our interns gain valuable experience. They should understand what problems we are solving, and with the discussions which we want to have with you guys, you need to gain the relevant experience in order to solve the problems and build valuable solutions to for our customers. So we already had done lesson number 1 in the previous meeting, and the video recording of yesterday's session will be available on our channel at 8 o'clock today. So you can access the meeting in order to understand what we discussed in session number 1. Followed by, I'm going to give a quick recap, and then we will start with the objectives of today's presentations. Now, so internship goal setting, this was organized in order to ensure that our interns gain relevant internship experience and they should be able to solve problems. That is the major objective of this internship. And finally, you should be able to build valuable products and solutions for the identified problems. So that's what we guys need to do, and you guys need to learn during this internship which is being organized. Okay. Now, I'll take you to the next slide and just give you a quick recap of what we discussed yesterday, and the detailed discussion can be found on our YouTube channel, and we will also circulate the links via emails also so that you guys can access the previous session. So initially in yesterday's session we discussed 5 parts of the business. So Hackveda works on 5 different parts, in which initially we work on value creation. In value creation, we discover what people need and want, and then we create product and services for our customers. In stage number 2 of our business, we attract attention of the prospects and we build demand for what product we have created. So this segment falls under marketing, and there are certain strategies and in-house tools which we have created in order to market the product. Third, the segment is sales segment, where we have to convert our prospective customers into paying customers. So there are certain strategies which is being implemented. So we try to identify customer pain points, and on the basis of pain points, we create campaigns in order to convert the prospects into paying customers. In the 4th stage, we have value delivery. So here we try to ensure that we are giving the customers what we have promised to deliver them, and we ensure that they are satisfied. So a lot of work needs to be done over this segment of value delivery. We are trying to improve various processes, strategies in order to ensure that the customers are getting what is being promised, and hence we are searching for good team members, those who can help us in delivering value and making the customers satisfied. And 5th part of our business is finance, where we organize those activities where we ensure to bring enough money to keep going and make our efforts worthwhile, in order to ensure that the product and the service is available for the customers, and we ensure that it could be available at least up to the minimum threshold. So what is this minimum threshold? We have already discussed this in the previous meeting, and you can access that information on YouTube channel. Now, the second thing we discussed yesterday was the iron law of the market. So iron law of the market says market matters most. If there is a market existing, if there is an opportunity existing, only then it is feasible, or only it is advised to create the product when a market exists. So if there is a market, only then create a product or a service or a solution to a problem. And if there is no market, then there is no point of building the product, because irrespective of however good the product is, irrespective of however good the team is, if there doesn't exist any market, then the product will not be selling. So you need to be very, very sure that the market matters most. Now the next part is, every business is fundamentally limited by the size and quality of the market it attempts to serve. So we have to ensure that the demand or the problem which we are solving is of a bigger size, and the problem is of multiple customers. So we need to ensure that we use certain strategies in order to assess the size of the market. So we will be discussing how we evaluate the market and how we identify the size of the market in upcoming, Scrum meetings. That's what we are going to do. Now, one more thing which is very important in yesterday's session, which we discussed. So the best approach is to focus on making things what people want to buy. So if we are working, collectively, and if we are ensuring that we are building those products which are actually in demand, and the demand is such where a customer is ready to pay for the product, only then building that product or service, is advisable. So these are the iron laws of the market which we discussed, and the details you can access in the previous meeting. So guys, so we have the core human drives and the forms of value. This is what we are going to discuss in today's meeting. Now, let's have the first point. So what are core human drives? So whenever we make a product, we have to ensure that we understand the human need. And if we have efficiently identified the desire or, the requirement of the customer, then half of the job is done. So most of the time, before building the product, we try to ensure that we understand whatever product or solution we are building, it fits at least in one of the core drives of the human. Only then we will be able to influence the customer in order to make a purchase. Okay. So what are these core human drives? These are 5 core drives which we are going to discuss. So what is the first drive? Let us quickly understand. So the first drive is the drive to acquire. Okay. All of us, some way, today or later, you might, get this drive to acquire things, acquiring immaterial things like, status, acquiring power, acquiring material things. So the drive to acquire means the desire to obtain or collect physical objects as well as immaterial qualities like status, power, and influence. So this falls under the drive to acquire. And businesses which are built on the drive to acquire, these businesses include retailers, investment brokerages, and political consulting companies. These companies promise to make us wealthy. They promise us to make us famous or influential, or they want to make us, they sell us something which we feel like that we are more powerful after consuming that product or after buying that product. So all these businesses relate to this drive. Okay. So if you can see, majority of the products which we see, I'll take up a couple of names with respect to, one such product which we build is a stock trading application which fits in the drive to acquire, because it offers the customer that the product is going to make the customer wealthy. Okay. Now, so you need to ensure whatever product we are building, it must fit one of the core drives. So one such drive which we have already discussed is the drive to acquire. And we have one product which is Day Trade Insight, which works in order to fulfill this drive to acquire of our customers. Okay. And the product ensures that if a person buys the product, if he takes a subscription of our one product, Day Trade Insight, he will become wealthier by, investing. So we have to identify the accurate drive of the customer and which drive can be fulfilled by our product. So that is very, very important. So if we are not clear that our product is, fulfilling what drive, then it is very important, in fact. So if we don't know, then, the product will not become successful. But if we are sure that our product fits to a specific, customer's drive, then we will be easily able to sell the product to the customer. The second drive is the drive to bond. Okay. So various businesses which works on creating relationships between people. So if you can see products like WhatsApp, if you can see products like, Facebook, Instagram, so they, influence this drive to bond, the drive to, connect with each other, to have a relationship. So those products fall in this category. So we can see that the drive to bond means the desire to feel valued and loved by forming relationships with others, either platonic or romantic. Okay, it could be any professional relationship, it could be social relationships, it could be romantic relationships. Any such relationship based product will fit into this, the drive to bond. So if we are making a product like social network where people have to communicate, products like YouTube, products like TikTok, all these are in a way or other they fit into this drive of the customer. So if you can see, there are various examples. So businesses built on the drive to bond include restaurant, conferences, dating services, companies that promise to make us attractive, well-liked, or highly regarded connect to this drive. Now why this is important for our business is, I'll tell you. So we try to make multiple products for various customers. So suppose if we are creating a web application or a mobile application for a restaurant, let's say, okay, so we need to ensure that or if we are building for a conference, or if we are building an application for dating services, we need to ensure that the product reflects this drive to bond with respect to the customers. Just making the application or making the relevant forms or call to action buttons won't be relevant. What's relevant would be that we have to design the application in such a way that it reflects the drive to bond, and it it should trigger the neuro sense behavior or the neuro sentimental behavior of the customer, and he should feel that the application is fulfilling his desires to feel valued and fulfilling his desire to feel loved, and so this is the second category of core human drive. The third drive of humans is the drive to learn. So one such product, if you see any products like Coursera, Udemy, and various other learning platforms, they fall under this category, where they the drive to learn is the desire to satisfy our curiosity. So the products which are helping you satisfy your curiosity falls in this category. Just give me. Okay. So the drive to learn, it defines the desire to satisfy our curiosity. So the businesses built on the drive to learn, these include academic programs, these include book publishers, training workshops, companies that promise to make us more knowledgeable or competent connect to this drive. So if we consider the internship program which we are currently running, this falls under the desire, the drive to learn, or the desire to satisfy our curiosity that how companies work, how projects and products are delivered, how projects and products are, how the orders are brought from the consumers, how do we reach out to consumers, how do we offer support to them. So our product fulfill this desire, one product which is let's say the internship, the intern tracker or so. Now coming back to the next, the fourth drive is the drive to defend. So the desire to protect ourselves, our loved ones, and our property. So these products fall under this category, the drive to defend. Okay. So businesses built around this drive to defend include home alarm systems. You would have seen there are home alarm systems, there are various security systems, camera systems, available in offices and homes. So all these falls under this category. Then products like insurance products, okay, products like Policy Bazaar and all those, they fall under this category. Along with that, if you see any legal services, they also fall under this category, the drive to defend. Now, so as of now, we are not building any such product which fulfills this drive, but we do have certain services like cybersecurity services, which offers penetration testing to the customers, which may fall into this category. Now, reaching out to the next drive, which is the fifth and the very important, drive. So this is the drive to feel. So the desire for new sensory stimuli, intense emotional experiences, pleasure, excitement, entertainment, and anticipation. So all those products which fulfill these desires, they fall in this category. And businesses built on this drive to feel, these include products like movie theaters, like arcades, concert promoters, sports teams. Okay, so they try to give you a good feel when you go there. So products like businesses like hotels, 5-star hotels, they offer you trigger this drive to feel of the customer. And if a customer is feeling lavish by visiting that place, the customer is ready to pay more and more. Okay, so that's why if you guys can see nowadays, movie theaters, 3D 4D experiences are being introduced, the immersive experiences are introduced in PVRs, and so they are innovating their products in order to ensure that the customer's drive to feel is triggered appropriately. And once the customer starts feeling, and he starts reacting, his senses starts reacting to one such product, the customer is ready to pay for it. So these are the 5 types of drives which are important for any product or business. And we should be very, very clear that our product, whatever product, software, IoT product, whatever we are building, it should fit at least to one of these drives. So if it is fitting into one of these drives, we would be able to create better marketing, better marketing pitches, better sales pitches, and we would be able to convert more and more customers. And we can ensure, profitable sales of the products and services which we are making and building. So this is very important for all of the interns to understand, that whatever product we are creating, or in future, whatever product you will be creating, when you are designing the product or when you are doing a feasibility of the product, you need to ensure that the product is fitting to which drive. Okay, and once you identify the drive, then you have to build the relevant content on the basis of that drive, so that the product offers the relevant value to the customer. Now, so this is one important concept, core human drives. And whenever we build a product, we have to identify what human drive we are fulfilling. Okay, what human desire we are fulfilling. And once the desire of a customer, is fulfilled or can be fulfilled by a product, definitely he is ready to buy that product. Now, coming back to the next very important thing. So majority of the times you would have heard in companies, we all talk about value. We say money is the byproduct of whatever value we create for the customer. Okay, I believe everybody would have heard this sentence and statement. And most of the time people always revolves around what value we are offering, what value we are creating for the customers, what value we are creating for the customers. So you have to understand what is value exactly. Okay, once you understand the forms of value, only then you will be able to create a relevant product. And we have also multiple products related to some of these forms of value, and we will explain you how those are identified and how we created those products, so that you can also build using the strategies and techniques which we follow for building the products. Now, so there are 12 standard forms of value which we are going to discuss. Okay, as per the definition, if you can see, it says value is not intrinsic, it is not in things, it is within us. So how the customer perceives your product, that defines the value of the product. So suppose let's say I am suffering from problem X, and there is another customer who's not suffering from problem X. So if there is a product in market which fulfills, which offers solutions to this problem X, it might be highly valuable for me, but it might not hold the same value to the other customer. Okay, so hence it is always identified that the value is not intrinsic. Okay, a product does not have a value. Whatever you are making, that does not have a value. The perception in the customer, that defines the value of the product. The level of the problem which your product is solving for that customer, the customer will define the value of the product. Okay, so that's what we have to be very, very sure that whatever we are building, okay, if the product which we are building is valuable in front of customer's perspective, only then the customer will be ready to pay high value for it. If it is properly addressing the problem of the customer, only then it will become more valuable to him. Okay, so whenever we create a product, we try to identify that whatever problem we are trying to solve, it should be big enough, and the problem must be impacting consumers, and the problem is big enough so that customer values the solution which is being provided to them. Okay, so that's how you need to identify that whatever product and service we are building or you will be building in future, what is the perceived value of that product. Now, so in order to fulfill, so I'm here currently, in order for your business to successfully provide value to another person, that value must take on a form they are willing to pay for. Okay, now this is also very important. So a customer knows his problem, or sometimes he might also not know that what problem he's suffering from. Let's say he knows the problem. Okay, now he would want to consume the solution in a certain form, and you need to know what form it is. Okay, so we are going to discuss about what are the 12 different types of forms of value exist. Okay, how we can offer value to a customer. Okay, so we are going to discuss that, and that is the main agenda of today's meeting. So I'll take you to those important points, and they are very, very important. So there are 12 forms of value, and we are going to discuss one by one. So the first form of value which you can see here is the product. Okay, so how do we deliver value to a customer? We deliver value by creating a product for the customer. Okay, now what could be a product? Let's have a quick understanding. So you can create a single tangible item or entity, then sell and deliver it for more than what it cost to make. This is one business model. This is one form of value. Okay, so you can create a product and you can start selling it, and you have to sell that product in higher than the value you invested in developing it. Okay, so you do need to have a proper pricing. You do need to have proper calculation of how much is being invested in order to develop the product, and accordingly you need to sell the product to the customer. So this is one very simple way of delivering value to the customer. Okay, now the second type of value which can be offered to the customer is in form of a service. Okay, you can provide service to a customer, and through your service the customer might get the value. Okay, he can consume the value, he can get the solution to his problem. So service industries would be something like anything where anything, if you can see, like if I say let's say doctors, teachers, so all these deliver services. Okay, so what do? They provide help or assistance and then charge a fee for the benefits rendered. Okay, whatever service they have provided you, the services, there could be a number of services possible, and you might also know a lot of examples in this regard. So one is product, second is service. So these are two majorly known forms of value which people know. But apart from these two, there are n number of values on which a lot of products, a lot of businesses are built, and they have done a great job by delivering solutions to the customer in a specific form which affects the customers, which increases the perception of the customer in a larger way. Okay, so we are going to understand those also. So the third kind of form of value is shared resources. Okay, where the resources can be shared, and one such example of shared resources is cloud computing. I believe all of you know what is cloud computing. So on cloud, over the internet, we share the resources, like the infrastructure is shared, the softwares are shared, the platforms are shared. So this is one example of shared resources services. Plus you guys, you can see there are various business models like hire a car, rent a car, like that. There are various businesses working on shared resources where automobiles are shared, you give a fee for that particular item for a certain duration of time till the time you use it. So this means pay as you go. How much you are using that shared resource, that amount you are paying to the to those businesses. So what falls under this shared resources? So here we have to create a durable asset that can be used by many people, then charge for the access. Okay, so you have to create an asset. Once that asset is used by multiple people, so again the problem must be big enough. Whatever shared resource product or service you are building, or whatever shared resource business you are building, you need to ensure that it must be accessed by many people. It should be accessed by many people so that your business survives. Followed by the fourth kind of value which we have is the subscription models of the business. Okay, you would have seen various web applications which offers you subscriptions nowadays. So applications like Netflix, online movie applications, Prime Video, Amazon Prime and all that, these are subscription types of service. In fact, milk services and all those, there are certain food kind of services which also comes in form of a subscription. In fact, in today's date, power is also available in form of a subscription, where you pay a subscription fee for electricity, and the electricity will be provided to the house on the basis of pay as you go model. Okay, so n number of businesses are being converted into subscription model nowadays, where you buy an account, and one such product, an example is Zoom itself, which we are currently using. So monthly subscription has to be paid for a product. So you can create a product and you can offer it on a subscription model, and you can keep upgrading it. So this is also a very good model for the software services which are being available and which are being sold. So what does it do? It offers a benefit on an ongoing basis and charge a recurring fee. So this is the fourth type of value, the standard form of value we know with respect to businesses. Okay, and whenever we create a product, we need to ensure that the product or the business model which is created for the product or service must fall in any of at least one forms of value. So one business model should follow the principles of one forms of value only. Okay, if you are making a product and you will say that my product can be offered in all these 12 forms, then it makes it will make your business very complex. It will make finding the customers complex, and offering the service would become complex. So it is always better, whenever you are making a product, try to ensure or try to identify which of the form of value is most appropriate for your business. So accordingly you can create valuable product for your customers, and you can offer the business model. So majority of the time when people ask what is the business model, how you are selling, what you are selling, so on that moment you have to answer with respect to this part, where you need to let them know the form of value with which you are offering the solution to the customer. Okay, and the customer must be ready to accept that form of value. The customer must be consuming that form of value, only then your product will sell. Now coming to the next slide. So the next form of value which we have is reselling services. Okay, so if you can see what a reseller does, reseller, you might know, there are a number of retailers, they buy from the wholesaler and then they sell to the customers. So there are various business models which falls under reselling category. So where a business acquire an asset from a wholesaler and then sell that asset to a retail buyer at a higher price. So that's a very simple business model again. This is also a form of value. We call this as resale form of value. Okay. Post that, the sixth type of value is the lease value. You can give something on lease to a customer and you can charge for it. So what you can do is you can acquire an asset, then allow another person to use that asset for a predefined amount of time in exchange for a fee. Okay. So you can lease out your systems. So again, coming back to the automobile, industry, earlier people used to buy cars, okay, but nowadays automobiles are available on lease as well. Lease as in where a company will buy a new product, a new car for you, and it will give you that car for lease for 4 years, 5 years or so. Okay, you can use that car, you can pay monthly amount for that car. It won't be like a loan, it would be like a monthly rental which you need to pay, the lease fee which you need to pay, and once your 5 years are completed, then you can give the car back and you can renew the subscription, get any another car. The one nice thing which happens in this kind of business is, in case if there is any fault or anything happens to the car, a brand new car, alternative car will be provided to you on the same subscription cost. So there are various models like this being executed for premium luxury cars, and in fact the model is available for small cars also. And these mobile application providers or these web developers, they are directly communicating with manufacturers, and then they are cutting that retailers or the distributors or the wholesalers cost. They directly buy the cars from the manufacturer and then they deliver it directly to the consumer, and the margin between from manufacturer to the wholesaler to the retailer, so that margin is took by these business models which offer these lease kind of facility. Then there are various other models, like houses are also available on lease. There are various business models happening where people are giving their houses on lease, and again they are charging monthly recurring fee, which this is also very old model, the rental model which was happening, but it is more organized in today's scenario. People have organized it a little more. They are offering various complementary services like cleaning services and food services in order to ensure that you have a good living. So business models like automobile lease and house lease, they are also available. And again, all of these are derived somewhere by certain softwares, because majority of the customers are using it now. Then coming back to the next model, which is the seventh form of value, we call this as agency type of business model. Okay, where what do? We market and sell an asset or a service which you don't own. You do this marketing and selling on behalf of a third party. Okay, so digital marketing agencies which create ads for the third party, then they deliver those ads to the customers, so they fall under these categories. So there are various marketing agencies, there are various political agencies, there are agencies like petrol pumps, distribution agencies like earlier we used to earlier there were LPG cylinders which were sold through agencies. So all those types of business models, they fall under this agency category. Okay, why we are discussing these forms of value here is because when we will be creating a product for our customer, so suppose one customer comes to us, this is a company which might be following one of these models. Okay, so we need to understand what model they follow, and on the basis of that model the product needs to be created. So we need to ensure that the product, web application, mobile app, or the IoT product, or the or whatever product we have created or built, it should provide the appropriate form of the value to the customer. Okay, only then the customer would be happily using it. So that is also very important. Next, coming back to audience aggregation, this is one of my favorite models. So audience aggregation is a very important type of value which is delivered to the customer. And what is done here, this is very important. We have a product which falls under audience aggregation. We call this product as audience blend. We do email marketing for different businesses using this model, and I'll tell you how it is done. So what do we do here? We have to get the attention of a group of people with certain common characteristics. Okay, suppose I have a software product which could be something like a portfolio management software, and this I'll give you one example. So I have this audience blend product. Now there is a software company who's building, let's say, a portfolio management software. And on the other hand, there are stock brokers, those who use this PMS system. So what I can do, I can collect the information of the stock market audience, I can keep it into a database, and then I can give access of this database to various businesses, those who are building PMS. And I can charge on the basis of how many consumer information I'm sharing to that. So that is what is audience aggregation. So audience is aggregated on the platforms, and post audience aggregation through advertising, revenue is collected. So one good examples of audience aggregations is WhatsApp, Instagram, social network apps like Facebook, okay, products like Google products mostly, they work on these audience aggregation model. So what do they do? They bring a lot of people on one platform, and then they give the access of this attention to the marketers or to the businesses. So businesses will pay for showing their products and services to the relevant audience which is available on that platform. So this is also a very important model, audience aggregation. So what is done, you get the attention of a group of people, and then you sell access to that group. So majority of the times I'll tell you, so you guys are from colleges, so you would have seen a lot of events are being organized at colleges. Okay, now once one event is organized, a lot of students join that event. The data of that event is sold to various companies, various institutes. So these institutes buy that data from event organizers. So this is something known as audience aggregation, where one event was organized by the college or by some certain community, and they have gathered people with the common characteristics, those who have joined those events, and then that data of those is sold to businesses. So this selling could be in any form. It could be in form of a product like Facebook and how WhatsApp does, and how they make use of ads, in order to show those ads to the customers. Or else it could be a very simple model where the data is collected in a Google form, and the CSV sheet is shared to an X business on certain cost. So this audience aggregation, again, it is a form of value which is created, and this value is given to the businesses. This works mostly on the B2B model, where free products are offered to the customers, and the customers are aggregated on the platform, and the attention of these customers are sold to various businesses. Okay, so this forms under audience aggregation. Now moving on to the next, the ninth form of value. Then there are various products which you guys can recently see. Loan based applications are now available. Okay, so what this business model is, where you can lend a certain amount of money and then collect payments over a predefined period of time equal to the amount of original loan plus interest at a predefined rate. So banks, they follow this form of value, where they provide loan to the customer, and then they make a benefit of the interest. Apart from that, there is another category of the value which is given, which is an option. So option is the ability to take a predefined action for a fixed period of time in exchange of a fee. So what I can do is I can do a contract. Option could be something like a contract where I can speak to the distributor, I can make a contract to him on a fixed price, irrespective of whatever the price would be in future. So if I have done a contract, let's say for 100 rupees with a wholesaler, and the price of that product reaches to 120, then the wholesaler has to give it to me in 120 only. Okay, and in case if I have done an option contract with a wholesaler at 100 rupee and the product falls to 80 rupees or 70 rupees, in that case I won't, I have given a premium, I have given a fee to this business owner, to the wholesaler. He will keep that premium, he won't return me that contract money, but I can buy the product at a cheaper cost from the market, whatever is available. So this kind of model is used in options trading, stock trading, which is being done. So we have one product, Day Trade Insight, relevant to this category also. Majorly, since we have around 12 forms of value, so we have products around 9 to 10 forms of value, which belongs to these categories. So various projects which we have created for the customers, they either belong to one or other of these categories. So eventually, as soon as we proceed further in these Scrum meetings, we will discuss one by one different products. Okay, so every 15 days we will take up one product and we will discuss. So one by one, multiple products will be discussed, and you will be able to understand how different types of forms of values are being developed and provided by Hackveda to the customers. Now, then the 11th type of value is insurance. Okay, where you take on the risk of some specific bad thing which might be happening to the policy holder in exchange of a predefined series of payments, then pay out claims only if the bad things happens. Okay, so this is insurance model. Everybody is aware mostly about how insurance works. So if you are anticipating, let's talk about car insurance. So if you are anticipating that there might be an accident possible on my car, or there might be a theft possible on my car, so I can take an insurance with a bank or any insurance company where I can give them a premium monthly, and they will give me a security that the security of my car is that even if the car got stolen, the company is going to pay me money, and if the tenure gets over and the bad thing doesn't happen, then that money is earned by that insurance company. So insurance models are also very lucrative model nowadays, and various applications like Policy Bazaar and various other auto insurance applications are you would have seen which exist nowadays, and they offer a specific form of value. So form of value is very important, because in all of these cases there exists a web application or a mobile app, say, okay, but that mobile app or a web application is offering a totally different type of value with respect to the business model which they are serving. So whenever we are making a application, being a software and services company, whatever product we are making, we need to ensure that we are clearly understanding that the product which we are building belongs to which specific form of value. Okay, and if we know that, only then we'll be able to build a better product. Finally, the 12th category of is capital, where we purchase an ownership stake in a business, then collect the corresponding portion of the profit as one-time payout or an ongoing dividend. So again, investing into stock markets, investing into businesses. So the so-called investors which you have heard about all of these days, people those who are funding startups, people those who are funding businesses, they follow this capital model. Okay, so what do? They purchase ownership stake in a business, they invest in some money, and on the basis of the performance of the company, they try to take out money out of the stake, either by selling the stake to some other purchaser, or by getting the profit share from that business itself. So these are the 12 kind of forms of values which exist. So now whenever we are working on a product, we have to be very clear that what form of value we are building and to what customer drive we are attacking. So each of these different information is very important whenever we are building a product or we are working as a team member on that product. So we need to have a clear insight about how that product, what is the value that product is offering, and what drive of our customer the product is impacting. So we have to be very clear whether we are doing service on the product or we are, making a preneur. If we are working for a startup or if we have started a startup, so you need to be very clear on this. So guys, I believe these were the form of values which we have, which exists. So that is all for my presentation today. So anybody who has any technical queries, you can write us a technical support queries on support@hackveda.in. If you guys have to get your documents signed or so, you can send it on esign@hackveda.in. Okay. If you are facing any Scrum issues, you can send it on scrum@hackveda.in. And if you're facing any HR issues, you can reach out to neha@hackveda.in. Okay. So these are the point of contacts for the specific type of queries which you are facing. So anybody, those who have any question related to my presentation, first I want everybody to turn their cams on for a minute, and we can have questions. If you have any questions, we can talk for a moment, and then we can switch to the presentations of our interns. So guys, on the count of 3, I request you all to turn your cams on once. Let us have a picture of today's session. So on the count of 3, 3, 2, 1. Please turn your cams on. Let's have a quick picture. I'll take names. Bailin, Srinivas, Sumanjali, Riva, Jyoti Samant, Saurav Kumar, Sujata, Mukul Jadhav, Rushi, Hasina, Shweta, Tejaswini, Meet, Pratham, Shubhi, Gargi, Soumya, Prerna, Varun, Rushad, Talha, Swarangi. Everybody, turn your cams on, guys. Okay. So I've got my, my bite of the day for promotional purposes. Okay. Anyways, so anybody, any questions, you can raise your hands and we can talk on your questions, and then we will proceed to the presentations. Anybody, any questions? Yeah, Pranav Dubal. Yeah, please.
Yes, actually, I am facing some difficulty in the task, sir. Actually, I don't know why, but the API key is not working properly, sir. And I got error like the Stack Overflow error sometimes. But sometimes my program runs absolutely correctly, but sometimes it's showing like the Stack Overflow error.
See, so the challenges which you are facing with respect to your task, you can do one thing. Either you can find it on search references, okay, how other interns have implemented the task, because there would be a number of senior interns, those who have implemented those tasks, okay. So one thing is you can go to search references in intern tracker, put the name of the task, okay, or some keywords related to that task. You will get a number of presentations from the previous interns, and you can find out how they have implemented. Second thing is the challenges which you are facing, you need to solve it. That is what is the objective of the internship, okay. So we might not be of the same technology. There are different people of different technology, and they might get different problems. So the whole objective is the technical challenge which you're facing is a challenge given to you which you need to solve, okay, because we already have done that. We already have a product, but the challenge which you are facing, you need to solve it. That is what is the whole agenda of giving the task, so that you build up that mind that, okay, these are n number of approaches I need to try, and I need to sort it out. I need to find out resources from where I can sort it out. So that is a practice which you need to do, and which every intern has to do. Second thing is you can get references from search references where different interns have implemented it. In case if the trouble is big enough, you can request the Scrum manager, whoever is conducting the Scrum. You can on search reference, if you find out any presentation which is relevant to your work, you can seek contact number of that intern or speaker, and the Scrum manager will give you access to his email address and mobile number, okay. So mostly email address will be provided, so that you can write up a mail to them, and as per their available time they can help you out. So you need to reach out in this way, okay. And technical, mostly you need to find out the possible solutions in order to overcome the issue, okay. So that's how it needs to be done.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? For operational issues, if you are facing any operational issues, you guys can send it on support@hackveda.in if you are facing any operational issue, okay. Technical issues you need to solve, okay. Second part is, if you are unable to solve it, seek out the references on search references. You will get the video presentations of previous interns, those who have worked on that task, okay. Again, so if you find that relevant to your task, And if you want to speak to that intern, you can write a mail to scrum@hackveda.in seeking the contact of that intern. So you need to share the presentation and the name of the intern, and the Scrum will reply you with the contact number of the person. So you can speak to them and get your problem sorted in form of a community. As of now, we don't have a group where these technical discussions are happening, but if that is required, then definitely we can think of it and we can introduce some ways. Earlier we had this Trello group, but we have discontinued that group because there were a lot of the people were not able to handle those groups appropriately. They were posting irrelevant queries on irrelevant groups. Okay, one thing we can do, either we can create different groups on any channel, like let's say WhatsApp, it could be done, or anything like that. We can think of it. We don't have any existing group as of now, but definitely I'm going to look into it, and I'll see what can be done, and I'll let you know, guys, how you can have this communication. Earlier we had a problem of creating a community. I'll share with you, but that project is still under development. Let me just show that to you. So we had this plan of creating a platform known as Hackveda Internship, where we I believe my screen is visible to everyone, where we were introducing certain features, like direct messaging to people, interactions, then sharing the knowledge, having those internship groups. We are creating that. We are on the process of organizing these things, but currently the platform is not ready. We have this in mind that we will be somewhere creating this very soon, and then you guys will be able to communicate over a specific platform. So the project is in queue, but currently it is not ready. And in the meantime, if I found any good solution which I can offer you in order to have a community based interactions, then definitely I'll try to push it. Okay, got it. But certainly maybe by, let's say, 2 to 3 months from now, we might be having a community platform, Hackveda Internships, on which this community based discussion, sharing of resources, and that will be done with ease. So we have this plan in order to get this functional, but eventually it will take some time, approximately 2 to 3 months it might take. But before that, if we get something, definitely I'll introduce. Any more questions? Anyone? Okay. So guys, that's all for my discussions today. So I believe you guys got a gist of what we are doing in the internships. So the major objectives are that you understand how you are going to create valuable products and solutions, and how will you be solving people's problem. Okay, that's what that mindset you guys need to build. So the Scrum would be organized in this way, where we will be sharing our insights. We will try to align your goals and our goals in a common direction, so that we can together build up some good things, and we can solve problems of the customers, and we can make products which are sellable ready. Customers must be ready to buy those products. So that's what that experience you guys need to build as soon as we progress. Okay, followed by we can proceed with the presentations. So Nidhi, over to you. You can take up the presentations now, score the presentations, and once done, do upload it in an unlisted format on our channel. Okay, and then I think the links are shared to these people, right? They access these presentations. Acha, haan, it is found out on the search references, right? Once you upload it, you link it for every student, right?
So I just make it unlisted format. So whoever that link will be able to access that video.
Right. So you make it unlisted, but with the time frame, you link it with every student, right?
No, sir, just only unlisted.
No. When you upload, just give me a minute.